I'm pretty excited today because we get to review the Disney classic animation scenes. This is the brand new gift with purchase that is available through lego.com and at Lego stores. You can get this for free if you spend $130 on any theme. It does not have to be Disney. And I have to say, putting this together revealed just how charming it is. So let's go ahead and dive into this review. The box is blue with the Disney logo featured prominently in the left corner, cordoned off by some stars. The front shows you the Disney castle on the TV with some zoomed in shots of the other two TV screen options. The back shows you the Lion King screen option in the TV with some arrows demonstrating how you change the channel. Inside are two numbered bags that contain the 270 pieces to the set, the instruction manual, and a sheet with 4 stickers. The instruction manual is what you typically see these days with a pale background. However, the double-lined piece call-out boxes struck me as a bit different from what I've seen as of late. There is one minifig and one animal included in this set. Woody is the same version as what appeared earlier this year in the Toy Story Celebration train and RC car. He has blue legs with a sheriff's torso that has a yellow shirt with some red square outlines, the white vest with black spots and his badge, yellow sleeves, and a brown belt. His face is double-sided with a grin on one side and an open smile on the other. His hairpiece is dual molded with his dark orange cowboy hat. This version of Simba has also appeared in just one other set, 2024's Magic of Disney. He has medium nougat eyes and ears, a coral nose, and a bright yellow pattern on his chest and paws. As best as I can tell, this is the only Simba we have in Lego form other than the 2 buildable versions. These minifigs are pretty solid for a gift with purchase, especially considering you get 2 of them. The Simba is really nice. I like the pre-molded version that we have here, and I think it's nice to get that animal. I know my kids are definitely going to love that. As for Woody, he's a bit more complicated. If you go back and look at all of the different Woody minifigures we've received, back in 2010 when he first came out, he had taller legs and he had a bigger head. I always found that to look a little bit odd, maybe even a little creepy. Having him in the regular minifig scale is nice. I know that some people would rather he have dual molded legs, particularly blue with brown cowboy boots as the dual molded part. This is fine. I think it's not the highest end Woody that you're going to have, but overall, I think it's solid. The build for this set was actually really fun. It moved fairly quickly, and while it didn't have a lot of super complicated techniques, it had some fun parts to it as well. You start the build with the TV, of which you assemble the frame using some snot bricks and some window frames. You then add some light blade tiles for the frame of the screen, which includes some 3x3 macaroni tiles. After adding the knobs, you build 2 panels for the sides using some dark orange bow slopes, tiles, and grill pieces. None of these pieces are rare, but you do get good quantities here. 16 of the 2x2 bow slopes, 8 of the 1x6 tiles, and 16 of the grill pieces. After that, you assemble the bottom with its 4 short legs and the top with its antenna. Bag 2 is rather large and contains quite a few pieces, which are used to build the 3 unique TV screens. The first to be built is the castle, which is cleverly constructed using some brackets on which you place some pyramid slopes to form the turrets and some cutout tiles to form the archway. These tiles are very effective in achieving this and are appearing for just the 7th time in a set. You cap it off with the shooting star and it's ready to be slotted into the TV. Andy's room from Toy Story is the next screen, and it's the least complicated to build of the 3. You use a bunch of 1x3 white tiles for the paneling and some 1x4 double slopes to top those off. The medium azure plates work wonderfully for the walls, and adding some tiles for clouds is a nice addition. Some slightly askew boxes and a G.I. Joe are stacked on the left while you build Lenny, the binoculars, and place him on the right. You also have a ball with a sticker on it that is placed between Lenny and Woody. Finally, you build Pride Rock from the Lion King, which is my favorite of the 3 builds, largely because it is asymmetrical and configures the pieces very well. There are some slopes placed in different directions, along with some dark blue triangle tiles to form the horizon. Simba is placed on a 1x1 snot brick, and the screen then is ready to be placed. I think once you have it built and in front of you, you realize just how charming this little set is. And I say little, but the TV surprised me with just how big it is. The TV is a decent size, coming in at 14 studs wide plus the side panels. The cones used as the legs are effective, as is the antenna. Each of the inserts are 12 studs wide and fit snugly in the TV. They're not connected via studs, but they don't move around even if you hold it upside down or shake them around. The castle probably features the best in the TV, as all of its details are right there in the middle of the screen, which means that their details aren't obscured by shadows. This actually happens with the Lion King screen, which loses a bit of the rock and horizon details along the sides, as well as the Toy Story display with some of the wood paneling. However, the toy boxes, the G.I. Joe, and Lenny are all clearly visible on screen. This really is a fun gift with purchase, and it does a nice job of mixing some building techniques, a smooth build, as well as some nostalgia. Now, I know there are some fans that might wonder why we're getting two 90s era movies for these screens, and I have to say that I can't complain. I'm a child of the 1990s, but it is interesting that we see such a retro TV with 1990s era movies. Growing up in the 1980s and 90s, we had a wood panel TV kind of like this. It didn't have the four legs, but we didn't have one of those in the 1990s. It was in the 1980s. So I don't really know what's going on with that, but I can't complain. Again, I think it's a good selection. I really enjoyed getting the Woody minifig as well as the Simba pre-molded piece there. I also think that LEGO did a nice job of adding some fun little details. When you look at just the way that they construct Pride Rock, it looks really good. The profile's very, very nice. Even the Disney Castle, which is pretty straightforward in a lot of ways, uses some subtly nice building techniques. And of course, I love the fact that you get this G.I. Joe and a buildable Lenny for the binoculars here in the Toy Story scene. So I think they did a lot of nice little things in this to make it so charming. And I think that's why this one's going to be pretty popular, either as a gift with purchase at the LEGO store or lego.com, or on the secondary market. I also think there are some really good opportunities to pick this up while supplies last. Now, this is available for a $130 spend threshold on any theme, and it goes until November 11th. Now, that matters for those of you who are interested in picking up the Goonies set on November 1st or in that first week, because you can get the Walsh's Attic gift with purchase along with this one, and it's a nice way to stack the gifts with purchase in case you're interested in this. If you aren't interested in getting the Goonies, there are some other deals that I noticed that LEGO has. So for instance, when I went to the LEGO store, the Italian Riviera is available with double insiders points for the next few days at least. So if you haven't picked that up and you wanted to, that could be one way to do it. I also want to say that LEGO was tossing in this keychain, this game controller keychain, for free for what that's worth, in case you're interested in getting that. In terms of the secondary market, there are quite a few available already on Bricklink and eBay, in part because this was available at Disney.com with $130 spends on pretty much anything there. So people have been able to get this for the last couple of weeks, and so there are quite a few options on the secondary market, and those typically run on average for about $40 US. I think that's a little bit high in terms of what this is worth to me, but I can certainly understand there being quite a bit of demand for it, certainly the initial weeks, as people were only able to get this through Disney.com. As more copies are available on the secondary market, I'm hoping the price will drop closer to $35 and maybe even edge a little bit closer to $30, but my guess is you'll end up somewhere between $35 and $40 in terms of the retail price on the secondary market when all is said and done. That said, it wouldn't shock me if you're able to find a copy for $30 US if you check periodically, or you're able to find a good deal maybe locally that you don't have to pay shipping and handling for. In terms of my rating, I think this is actually very, very good. If you like Disney, you're certainly going to like this. You're going to like getting the Simba and the Woody minifigs. I think you're also going to enjoy just the fun little details that are in here. But even if you're not a Disney fan, this has some really nice pieces, and the TV is pretty vintage. It's not unique to Disney. I had a TV somewhat similar to this back in the 1980s, so I could easily see people wanting just the TV, and you can of course download the instructions online if you wanted to build it. I don't think the pieces would be too hard to get. You can also customize it in other ways, and I think it would be also fun to build your own 12 stud, 6x12 stud scenes that you could put in that TV. It doesn't even have to be Disney. It could be other movies. It could be sporting events. It could be all sorts of things that would be rather fun. So this provides a little bit of versatility even beyond the Disney context in which we see it being released. So because of that, I rate this pretty high. I'm going to give this, for a gift with purchase, probably an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a fantastic little build with a lot of variety to it and some really cool details. I also think that it's on par with some of the better gifts with purchase we've received over the last couple of years. Thinking back, one of my all-time favorites is the Books Are My Life gift with purchase, the Jane Austen gift with purchase, the Holiday Pumpkin, and some of the other ones that we received. The Sega Genesis controller I thought was really, really cool as well. And this is right on par with those, which I gave pretty high scores to. So this is really well done. Excellent execution. I definitely recommend it, even if you're not a big Disney fan. So there you go. That is our review of the new classic animation scenes gift with purchase. If you enjoyed it, if you found it useful in deciding whether or not you wanted to pick this up, go ahead, hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and always remember to keep building together.